whole linking thing. All right, we're live. Hello. Just waiting for some people to join us. We should get the comments coming up very, very shortly. So today we have the amazing Deb Lee. Deb has joined us to share with us her little story and what she's doing here. But you're in Bustleton, aren't you, Deb?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to do this today.
Yes, it's so good to have you. It's so good to. I love doing these live shows because it just gives everybody an opportunity to really connect to other people out there that are working with spirit, you know. So it's really, really great to be able to connect and get you on board. So hopefully we just wait a moment and just have a general chat for the moment, just seeing if we get some more people on. Saying that we have connected to my page. So hopefully we have a regular come on, Ramona. She likes to join us every week.
Hi, Ramona.
So hopefully she's here. It says we've got 0 people on at the moment. So fingers crossed. I'm just going to jump over. Bear with me, Deb. Sometimes Facebook is a little bit lagging. So I just want to make sure that my page is live.
I did actually see something this morning that Facebook was down overnight.
Yeah, it was. It worried me. Because I was like, oh no, I've got this live here this morning, and yep, we've got 2 viewers on. Yeah, and I was panicking. So yes, we've got 2 viewers on. So please say hello and let us know that you're here. All right. Yeah, I thought my Facebook had been a hack overnight.
Oh, no.
Doing a couple of things on last night, being the night owl that I am, jumped on to do a few things on Facebook and couldn't get in.
Oh no!
And I was panicked. Wow. I was like, "This is 10:30," and I'm like, "What's going on? Why can't I log in?" And I thought I'll jump on the computer. Maybe the internet's lagging or something like that, and blocked out. An hour and a half, I was sitting there thinking, I can't change my password. It's not working. There's errors everywhere. Someone's hacked into my account, and I started really, really worrying about it. And and then I finally got in just after 12:30 last night. So 2 hours, an hour and a half of twiddling around trying to jump on, and I could use my same password and everything. So apparently it was countrywide, Australia-wide, but TikTok and Instagram also had problems. So,
oh, for goodness sake, it's so strange, isn't it? And we are so dependent on our social media to work. It's a really when they crash, and of course that would have been coinciding with America, the US, the northern hemisphere waking up. So imagine you can't imagine what everybody would have been doing if they couldn't get on their Facebook. Goodness me.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Worrying.
We're totally connected to our social media programs, that's for sure. Well, I know
Absolutely.
I am. Fortunately, I go to bed early, so I missed it all until this morning.
You're lucky, right? You're lucky because you didn't have to deal with that, and I was up till goodness knows what time last night. Yeah, crazy. Well, look, we've got a comment. Alicia's joined us today. She says, hi, ladies. So, social media was all down last night. I thought I was hacked. Well, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. And I jumped onto Instagram around that time. I could log into Facebook, and Instagram had a weird platform. It's like the whole platform was all haywire. I could only see like 3 or 4 posts along my homepage. So it was.
Wow, I guess I wonder what was going on. Who knows? But
there's
so much energy around at the moment too. So much, like light energy, and the sun is doing strange things, and the earth is in a strange vibration, I think, at the moment. So who knows? It could all be connected. I'm not.
Well, we're going into a full moon, a new moon. Yeah, but a big one in Pisces. So that's about clearing out and dealing with the mess. It's that we've had to face up to, and we don't want to do that. We just want to run away from it all. So yes, it's going to be a big one. I think that's Sunday, right?
Saturday or Sunday? I think maybe Saturday in the southern hemisphere and Sunday in the northern hemisphere. But I don't know. My book. It's funny. I've left my book, my moon book, and my my moon phases, moonology book, and my water in my room because I was reading it before.
There you go. It's a super moon in super new moon in Pisces. So yes. And it says that Sydney time, the 10th of March at 8 p.m. So
is that Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday, 8 p.m. So there you go. Big weekend coming up. So clear out those manifests, clear out the clutter and clean up the mess, and then manifest. It'll all free up, room to move.
Yeah, clearing out the clutter is a constant thing, isn't it?
Yes. That was one workshop that I did with a lady many, many years ago online. She threw it out for free. And the first day was like going through the knicker drawer.
Ooh.
And it was quite interesting, to see her talking about it and what her first, so it was like 7 days of clearing out the clutter. So it was pretty interesting to see that someone actually had created a workshop like that. It was very, very clever.
Yeah, brilliant, actually, brilliant. And I mean, we are such a material society, aren't we? Everybody just buys stuff. I know I do. You buy stuff all the time, and it's like, we don't get rid of it a lot of the time, and so it just builds up and builds up, and I bought some socks the other day, and because I'm doing a bit of I've started doing some training, and I needed some socks to put in my new joggers, and I found these socks that were just they're bamboo, and so they were really they felt really nice on my skin, and I thought I'll give these a go. Anyway, I came home and I opened up my sock drawer, and it was like I started pulling out socks, and I reckon there were socks in there that I must have had for at least 5 years or longer, and they were just I don't know when I'd last worn them. So they're in the rag bag now.
Good on you. You started cleaning up, haven't you?
Yeah, it's constant. It's a constant thing. Every time I buy something, I try to throw something out because I'm replacing it, so replace the old stuff with the new stuff. Because if you don't, it's just manic. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, Deb. And it's so important to, clear out, and especially when you're working with spirit, is not just about clearing out, what you're attached to and constantly self-care, but it's also important to remember the home, when you're cleansing the space, because that's where negative energy sits,
But it's also really interesting. I never throw away crystals. I'm always even if they break, I put them in with my plants or put them, somewhere else. I never throw them away. I bury them in the garden just usually. No, I think if you look, I've got lots of indoor plants, and most of them have got crystals in them.
Yes, like I can imagine, like my pendulum sits here on my table here, and my cat was laying on my desk with me last night, and he found my pendulum, knocked it off.
Oh no.
So I've lost the tip to my pendulum, but it still works.
Yeah. Oh, good. I just got myself a new pendulum on the weekend, coincidentally.
There you go. It's probably due for a new one, me as well.
Yeah. Because mine actually fell apart. It fell off the chain, and so I just had this amethyst one, and I just had the amethyst with no pendulum and an amethyst and the chain, and I thought, oh, that's not good. There's a message there.
Yeah, absolutely. Something's going on there. Yeah, okay. I lost a crystal the other day, actually. I was going to Kelly's shop there in Queen Street in Bustleton to have a look at her sale. And I've got this smoky quartz, and everyone that knows me has known me for a long time that I've had this smoky quartz in a cage for about 6 or 7 years, and it sits on top of my heart.
Yeah.
And I knew that the clasp on the chain was not doing very well, and it came undone, and I didn't notice it until I was in Kelly's shop. And I looked everywhere and I can't find it. You know, I thought, oh, hopefully it's at home, but I'm not meant to have it anymore. Somebody else is meant to have my smoky quartz. So
yeah, I just can't. Just that's exactly the thing. Your time with that Chris. There's another one coming to you, so that one's gone to whoever needs it now. So yeah,
absolutely,
it's all good. It's all good. Yeah.
All right, I better get you to introduce yourself, Deb, because we've been going on about other things. So I better get you to introduce yourself. Tell me who you are, Deb. Who you are.
Oh, goodness me. Well, I'm Deb. My name's actually Deb Hocking, but I got divorced a year ago, and I've changed my name, but not legally. But I'm Deb Lee, and so getting divorced or being on my own in later in my life has actually opened me up. It's just the best thing ever, which is probably a terrible thing to say, but no, it's just been the best thing ever since I stopped having my the big rock that was my husband tied to my legs and ankles and everything else that was just anchoring me back into what I call, well, I guess it's the 3D. Because I've always been a free spirit, but I allowed myself to be kind of controlled, I guess, by my very black and white, very straight down the line, very non-spiritual or I don't know what the word to use for him. But anyway, I just every time my sort of weird side would come out, I would get shut down pretty quickly. So I spent a lot of years just keeping quiet and not sharing anything. However, spirit or God doesn't work like that, because things would happen that people were drawn to me for support and advice, and I was always that person that people would come to ask for support, ask for help, or ask for advice. And of course I always knew what to say. Even if I didn't know what was going on, I always knew what to say to them, and I would share without any thought, really. And sometimes I'd share things and it wasn't really like what they wanted to hear. And so I had a lot of people like don't like me, like it's like, nah, I'm not taking that on board or whatever. And so I guess it's a galvanizing thing, like I would say something, and if people don't want to hear it, it's like, they turn it around and make it personal, and then, I'm the bad person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, so that was kind of my life. And so I guess I could call myself a late bloomer, because I did a course with you. But I think it was, I don't know, I was feeling like it was time to actually learn a bit more about, spirit and messages and all of the things. And I did a course that you ran, and that was kind of the turning point for me, because I've had cards, I've got suitcases full of cards, oracle cards and angel cards and all of that, and I've always kind of referred to them. But when I did your course, I actually realized that the cards were just kind of almost not a crutch, but they were just like a tool, I guess, because the information that the cards would give me was relevant to the person that I was pulling the card for, not necessarily what the card book said. If you know what do you know what I'm saying? And so,
yes.
And I only. Oh, hang on, you're a bit garbled there. Yeah. So anyway,
all about your intuition.
Yeah. And so, because sometimes I'd pull a card and the same card and a completely different message would come through. So that was when I started trusting what I was hearing and not, and realizing that actually cards are just a prop almost. And I don't know what, but anyway, I still use cards. Don't worry. I still use cards. I love them. And I pick myself cards all the time. So anyway, so that was kind of, that's a bit of my story. And so since then I basically work, or I help people get clear and, have clarity around where to go, where they're heading, or where they want to go, or what's happening in their life. And there's always a much more powerful reason why things are happening. And people sometimes want to ignore that and they just want a quick fix, and sometimes that's not possible. But when you actually face the truth of what it is that's making the stuff happen to you, then you can do something about it and make the next steps better.
Absolutely, Deb. And I can. Good morning, Marissa. Remember Marissa from Manji?
Hi, Marissa.
And that's what I actually realized too. Most people come to a psychic or they want a reading because they want that quick fix. When am I going to meet my soulmate, right?
Yeah, all of that.
When, like, how is my health? When am I going to get better? And I always say to people, well, that's up to you, like at the end of the day, I can tell you X amount of time that this is going to happen. But hang on a minute. If you've got trauma here, and here, and it leads back to your inner child, maybe there's some work there that you need to dig deep on, whether it's some sound or whether it's some hypnotherapy or whether it's some counseling or coaching that you may need. But these are the tools that are going to help you meet your soulmate. So exactly. I think that's what it is about for a lot of people is, yes, it's good to be psychic, but I remember Greg Riley did a spill about this the other day, to be honest. Do you know Greg Riley?
No.
He's very renowned, very well-known psychic. He was on The One with Anthony Griselka a few years ago.
Okay. And I just have to say, I don't have a telly. I haven't had a telly for 7 years.
So. Oh, you're a good girl. Well, he was one very, very well-known psychic, Deb. So He was saying why psychic readings don't work. So I was going, oh, no, there goes, the whole idea of being psychic. But it's not about that. It's about the time from when they come in to see you wanting answer to when things are going to happen. But these are the steps that you need to do. It's a bit like that soul journey, right?
Yeah, totally. And that's the thing that's really interesting. And, people come, like I said, it's so interesting what comes through in my reading sometimes. It's just like the most bizarre things. And of course, when and I always preface my readings with that. I say, look, I don't know what's going to come through, but whatever it is, it's for your highest good. And so it's your free will to take the information and do with it whatever. But I'm just the conduit for that, for what comes for the information. But yeah, some of the stuff that comes through is fascinating. And then, and it's like, well, if you want this to happen, then you've got to do this work first. Or, how is this happening? How are you going here? I mean, I had just this is one thing. A lady was saying, about talking about, like you said, about getting healthy and what, when was this thing that she had going to get better. And the message that came through was vegetables.
Vegetable diet.
Yeah. So are you eating? And that was the question. The question was, well, are you eating vegetables? What are you eating? And then she was like, then that's a whole new thing. But like, that was the message. It was like, yeah, you'll get better, but you've got to bring good food into your life, obviously.
Absolutely.
And of course, absolutely. Like, oh, that's weird. Why would you be telling me that?
Yeah, it's like, are you eating enough of that, you know? So renewing the diet comes through quite a lot. And I don't know if you remember Doreen Virtue when she really was teaching all of this. It was all about your diet, you know, making sure you're eating healthy and everything wasn't processed and didn't come from a bad chicken yard, and you know, vegetables were all organic, and you know, it was making sure that you were staying away from certain amount of caffeine and alcohol and all of those things to keep your third eye open, you know, all of those amazing things. And yeah, that's clarity that it is important to go with what you believe, for whatever reason, you know, that's important to share that. Hello, Carla. Carla's just joined us. She's also down there in Manji, so it's nice to have her on board. So it's really nice to be able to get some clarity for someone. And sometimes a lot of us don't realize that it comes from the trauma. It comes from all of that, you know, like it's up to you to do the work. Like, yeah, it might be all good and well that you bring vegetables in your diet, but it's about connecting and staying to that to get that to that healthy point.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, eating a bit of broccoli one day, it's like going to the gym, isn't it? You know, eating a piece of broccoli for one meal isn't going to fix you know, it's not going to fix anything. Like going to the gym and doing weight training for an hour once isn't going to make any difference. But yeah, so it's really it's been really an interesting journey for me, just because as I said, just the trusting my knowing, and trusting that what I was saying, because such bizarre things were coming through when I first started doing readings. It was really kind of challenging, for me to actually trust that the information was correct, or that was valuable, or was going to help people. And then something. Yeah, there was a real turning point when at probably the Fearless Women's Circle, I did lots of readings that day, and it was so good. And there was 2 days, over 2 days. But one of the young women that I spoke with she's actually followed up with me a couple of times because some of the stuff that came through, she was just like, okay, whatever. And she wrote it down, and, you know, whatever. And some of the stuff that she wrote down, she's actually got back to me and said, oh my God, you were right. Like, I did have to do this, and I did have to do that, and that was because of this. And, you know, and it's just like, yay, okay. And as I say, the validation for me, that was the thing. And I think that I probably needed it to trust my knowing, to trust my guides even more. So so that was huge. That's been huge.
So they want you to listen and believe, because if that at that point that person is you're contracted to them to deliver them on the right path, to show them, you know, like Marissa says here, life changes and not just doing the quick fix. There is no quick fix. And every day is something you've got to learn. And no matter who that person is sharing you, it's kind of like, well, yeah, this is what you need to do. But in between, these are the things, and it's your free will. You might turn around and say, oh, that's a waste of time. I don't want to do that. Well, there's your outcome.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So and it's an amazing gift when you really start to listen and trust spirit and the universe's guidance. Like, you know, like I'm so glad that course really brought you up and out. And
yeah, totally. It was just amazing. And like I said, the first couple of readings that I did, I was looking at the card, and it was a really powerful training. So if anybody's, you know, if you're running that again, I'd highly recommend that anybody do that course with you.
Oh, thanks, Deb. I hope to have one on the scope this year, and I don't know if I'll do it online, because that's when COVID came.
Yeah,
and teach everyone how to go online. You know, how to do online reading. So I've since made it back to being in a retreat. So I've yet to put that on the scope for this year. And we're coming into winter, and most of the places down here are a little bit cold. So see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah.
Yeah.
I since then created a Master Spirit Channel course, which is a little bit different, a lot of aspecting and NLP work and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a really good course. So that'll definitely be on the scope this year as well.
Oh, awesome. That sounds great.
So yeah, in your journey, when do you think, you said you're a bit of a late bloomer. When do you think Marissa's like going north? It's former. Well, that she's up north at the moment. She's working. She's in her caravan, and often her husband, her, and went traveling. So, and working up there. So in that moment when you realize that you're a light bloomer, did you know that you were spiritual years ago, or that you had abilities? You intuitively knew, but you never acted on them. Is that right?
That's correct. Because I just never allowed myself to. Never really. As I said, I've had angel cards. I've bought cards all the time, and crystals. I've just been drawn to crystals. I don't know too much about them. I never studied them or found out the properties or anything like that until recently. I'm starting now, but I just was drawn to them, and so and fairies as well. I was always. I just knew that there were fairies. I was always connected with fairies. And, of course, you can imagine my IT professional husband dealing with me talking about fairies.
You're all woo-woo.
Yeah, how this woman.
Hello, Samara. Yeah, absolutely. I totally can relate. And I was always woo-woo, unicorns and fairies.
All of that. Crystals. Rainbows, fairies, crystals, all of the things. So I've always had them, and I've always loved them, and just, just all of the elementals, everything. I've just always been, and things have happened for me in my life. It's just been like, what? How did you make that happen, Deb? And it was like, just magic's happened for me my whole life, and I'm so grateful. Gosh, I'm so grateful. And and there was also other things that have happened with me that I've kind of gone with the flow as well. I went with the flow, and that's why, as I said, I just allowed myself to be a little bit controlled by my what my husband wanted me to be. People pleaser, I guess, is the word, possibly. So I'm a bit of a reform.
And that one, absolutely, Deb.
So I'm a bit of a reformed or reforming people pleaser. And where was I going with that? Yeah, so, I've gone with the flow, and I haven't really spoken up or sort of taken a stand around very much at all in my life. I've just, okay, that's whatever. If that's your call, that's fine, and I've never wanted to actually get into arguments or stuff like that. But it's been really interesting because COVID actually changed me a lot. And it was a really interesting time, and again, galvanizing. And I was just like, I don't know why, but this is why it is. This is how it is for me, and I'm not moving. I'm not shifting. And so that was really a huge growth spurt I had, huge. And it's just and again, I'm really grateful for it. Because I actually I've become much more bold. I think that's the word. I've become much more bold, and I don't give a
fearless.
I
reckon COVID around that time, 2020, I just had no fear. That was it. I was going gung-ho. I was getting on there, creating that course again, the course that I had written 3-4 years beforehand, and recreated it, revamped it, and just really let go of all of that fear and focus on moving forward. And my challenge was, for me, was to really help people on whatever level that I could really do that, and hey, throwing out that course for $47 and then $87 or something like that, just after COVID had expired, we were out and about at that stage. But it was just kind of like, all I wanted to do was change people's lives and let go of that fear. So I can
Absolutely.
totally relate.
Yeah. And Melissa's just said, yeah, that's exactly right. That I became the Deb that I always wanted to be. And as I said, a bit late, but that's it, you know, that's the thing. Who was it? Louise Hay didn't start Hay House until she was 58, 59. So, you know, it's never too late. You're not too old and it's not too late. So, yeah, it's really good. Really, really good.
That's on that topic, you know, I remember being at a psychic fair, and it was 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, working at a psychic fair. And I was sitting there shuffling my cards and waiting for a client. And this lady walked past with another lady, and she said really loudly, "Oh, I'm not going to her because she's really young."
Oh,
no experience. And I just went, "Oh, well, imagine what I'll be like in another 20 years when I hit 50, right?" And here I am, 51, and I would never have thought of doing this sort of stuff and expanding to the level that I have. So, you know, you can be an early bloomer, right? Or you can be a late bloomer.
Yeah, exactly. And you get there's you know, it all balances out in the end, doesn't it? You know, yeah. And I just admire. There's so many. I actually want to share an experience that I had a little while ago now. But there was a lady who was channel, and she was just talking about, or she was just, you know, sharing her message online in a webinar, and there was another lady. So this woman was probably in her early 20s, mid 20s, and she some of the stuff that she was saying was just like amazing, like incredible. And there was an older woman on the webinar, and she was so triggered by this young woman, because the way that she did her work was so different from the way that this young girl was doing what she was doing. And it triggered this lady so much that she put a post up afterwards saying, you know, do you believe that it's possible to, you know, get this information if you don't cleanse and you don't do this and you don't? And she listed all of the things that she had to do to get to do her work. And of course, it was really interesting, because that's the thing. She was judging this girl because she didn't do it how this lady, this other lady, had been taught 30, 40 years ago, however many, I don't know. And so this is the thing. Everybody does it. Everything happens differently for everyone, you know, and there's no right or wrong. It's everybody just does what they do. And, you know, it's fantastic. It's just, it's amazing. And I think, you know, seeing this, as I said, this young girl doing and channeling and bringing forth what she was bringing forth was just incredible. I just loved it. And yet this other lady was just like, no way, that's just bullshit, you know, that's not right. It can't be like
yeah. But everyone experiences it differently, Deb, you know. And everyone is individual, like Marissa's just said. You know, we are all individual. You know, how I speak and communicate to spirit and how you feel and how you deal with all those things is completely different to me in so many levels.
Totally. But it's awesome. That's what's so awesome about it.
Exactly. And someone could be like, why am I not experiencing what you experience? And we're all built differently. We're all supposed to be here to be different, to connect in different ways. You know, some people go, I really want to be psychic, and they don't have the ability, but I actually believe everyone does. There's that fear behind there that's blocking you going through and seeing, hearing, feeling, and doing all of that stuff with spirit. So everybody's different, you know.
But we're all the same. You know, that's the other thing. We're all different, but realistically, we are all the same. You know, we're all the same in that we all have our feelings. We all have our, you know, idiosyncrasies and all of the things. But yeah, it's just, I just think it's a beautiful thing that so many that people I think that the spirit world has actually shifted so much because it, you know, for whatever reason, we couldn't. It's not an elitist thing, really, and I think that was what this older lady was trying to put forward, that like she had to do all of this work and we do it like this and this is the right way, and there is no right way. It just is. It just is. It just is what it is. Yeah.
Tailored. So everyone's tailored things to their personality, you know, and that's why I always say to someone, oh, okay, you can work it out your way in the long run, however it gels with you. I'll teach you this, but you will figure out your way and your identity as you go along. You know, like I'll teach someone and they'll say to me, oh, I'm not seeing anything. I said, just trust it and feel it then. You know, just imagine what it would be like for you. So in that, everyone's got a different experience. You know, we all don't experience it the same way as you do. So, wow, you know, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And it's teaching them to step outside of their comfort zone as well, to see that big picture.
Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, that was one thing that I used to always get told when I in my jobs that I did, you know, that I was a big picture person because I could see what to do before anybody else could see what to do, and that's another part of it, you know, that people don't realise that your essence goes across every aspect of your life. You can't stop it. It's just it, you know, it comes through whether you love what you do in your working life. You know, your intuition is working all the time, whether you want it to or not. I believe.
Exactly. Oh yeah, mine is all the time. Spirit will turn up and say, hey, you know, and I'm always one for, if people sit there and go, oh, it's not working out for me, and I'm like, well, you know, what are you putting out there? Or, you know, are you asking? Are you just expecting that Spirit's going to turn up in your life? So, you know, I always say ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. And that's a big important thing is, how are you asking? Why are you not asking? You know, well, you know, everyone else has got more important things going on than me. So I always say ask, you know, ask. You know, and you would ask if I needed something.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, most of the time, well, in my experience anyway, when you ask, it's always, I believe that the angels, God, my guides, they're very polite, and that they're not going to insinuate themselves on me without me asking them to be here for me, you know. And that's the same with everyone. If you ask, they'll come to you. If you just keep saying, why isn't this happening? What's going on here? They're not going to answer. Nothing's going to come through for you. But when you ask, and just politely ask, you know, have you got it? You know, can you help me with this, please? I really need some support around whatever. And then listen, then sit still and listen and allow the messages to come through. That's my take.
We just assume, that's right. We just assume as humans that, you know, why should we ask? It should just happen, you know. But Spirit doesn't intervene with our free will without our permission. So it's really important that we address that, you know. So we've gone off on a tangent here, Deb, but so tell me what it is that you actually do in your business here in Busselton, and I'm assuming you offer online too, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Most of my readings are done online. I use Zoom, and I have, you know, people all over the world that I talk to and that I read for. And so basically, how can I explain it? It's kind of, like I said, it's pretty, I just help people get clear around things that might be holding them back from being their best and highest version of themselves. And so the tools and the information that comes through, like you were saying, might not be what what you would expect. I'm not going to give you they're not going to tell us exactly what you have to do and how many times you have to post on Facebook to, whatever. It's more about, who you get to be and how you can, what you can choose, the way forward to choose that will help you to be the highest and best version of yourself. So
yeah,
does that, do you get it? So so basically messages, when I do my readings, I obviously call in my guides, and if the person doesn't actually have a specific question, and a lot of times people don't want to ask a specific question, just as I feel like, maybe it's a test, I don't know, but sometimes they just sit there and don't say anything, or they just say, what's going on, and of course when it comes through, it's actually really interesting, because the number of times that you just sort of watch people's faces change. I watch people's faces change as they're sitting in front of me, and they're like, oh, how does she know that? How does that look?
yeah.
And do you get it? I'm sure you know. Yeah. And so then, like I said earlier, it might not be that, the situation that they're feeling like they want clarity around might not actually be what they get clarity around. When you know what I mean. And so then that's when we figure out, or when the information comes through on the how, and it's not about showing them the how, but it's about saying, these are your choices. Are you perhaps don't be so quiet, perhaps don't be so, in this situation that you're going to find yourself in, maybe that's going to be your opportunity to speak out about, this and this, or whatever. So it's kind of hard not to use examples, but
So you do readings? You do
yes.
readings? Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I'm also a sound. I do sound relaxation, sound facilitation, because again, this is something that came through to me from spirit, and sound, and everything is energy. Energy is frequency. We are energetic beings. We all know this, don't we? I mean, that's a given. We know that we are energetic beings, and we're all vibrating at a frequency, and different frequencies create different circumstances. When you're in the frequency of love and gratitude and kindness, you're vibrating differently to a person or somebody who's in the energy of anger and grief and remorse, and that low level stuff. And so I was just given the message that sound is the healing modality that for the future. And so I've got myself, I did some training, and I facilitate sound sessions with metal bowls and brass bowls, and they're very gentle. It's a very gentle session, very gentle sound. And I place the bowls on people's bodies as well, and it's like magic. It's actually beautiful. When I give people massages where I put the bowls on their body, they say that it's like they've had a full body massage, like a full on, remedial massage, or massage, but without the skin to skin. It's just
and people better, doesn't it? Some people don't like massages. Yeah,
exactly. And it's such you lose yourself in the sound, but you don't. It's a much more grounding. It's a grounding experience too. So so I do sound sessions. I've actually do free ones at the beach over summer, and my next one's going to be. It was going to be tonight, but then I thought, no, it's not tonight, because I'd like to tell people about it on this call today.
When's the next one?
Next Wednesday at Bustleton, in Bustleton. So I'll be creating I'll share I've got I'll create an public event for it and share it if that's okay. But it's just, yeah, I think everyone that experiences the sound, just the relaxation sessions, it's just a different, it's a beautiful, relaxing, you can just let go. You can just let go of everything and just be with the sound. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And as I say, most people get a really good night's sleep after they've been to a session, and it's beautiful. And I have a gong. I use a gong as well, and the gong kind of, it almost what's the word? It shifts. It changes the curve of the sound. I'm not explaining that very well. So like it interrupts the waves, and so you can. When I put the gong over people and I play the gong on above people, they say they can almost feel the sound moving.
Okay.
So am I making sense? Do you understand? It's kind of it's just the most beautiful thing, and I mean, spirit comes into my sessions too, as well at different times. I get stuff comes through for people actually, so they're beautiful, and it's a very beautiful modality. And like I said, I believe that when we all vibrate, when our bodies are vibrating at a high frequency, illness can't get in.
Beautiful. I love that. Sorry to just interrupt you. Marissa's written here, I had an experience yesterday. I was working for the movie crew at Allendale Pool, a sacred ground of snake serpent. Before all the crew got there, our set manager picked up from me that from my pass or post, we went down the water and there was some sand there to let them know we were there. It was a great experience. Loved it. So something to do with snakes there. Yeah, very cool. Just letting you know that we're there for the good. Absolutely. And she says, elders, some smoking, some ceremony. I was unable to see that bit as I was on my post away from it, but was so wish for I could have seen that part. Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. What's the movie? What's the movie that's being made, Marissa?
Boy Universe, the Universe Boy. It's about a boy.
Boy Follows Universe. Trent Dalton's book.
Not that one. What's it called, Marissa? It's not The Boy Swallows Universe. That one's already on Netflix. This one's going on Stan. Something about, he's from Geraldton. And he grew up in Geraldton, and it's the stigma. It's a series of Invisible Boys. So he grew up gay, and it's that whole, world of growing up in Geraldton as a gay young man. Or boy. So yeah, very interesting, cool story. I've been doing a little bit of research on it. He wrote a book, and apparently it's very popular. All right. So, Deb, you're amazing. You're amazing. So you've got your sound thing happening on the beach next week. That's free?
Yes, that's free. And I just do it. There's a King Street. Dusty's come to join me here. He likes to be.
Hello, Dusty. Met you
a couple of times. Very spoiled. I've got a very, very spoiled black cat, Dusty. He's but he loves to get up here when I'm on the computer. He likes to come and take over. Anyway,
my boy will be unhappy because I've locked him out today.
Yeah, well, I can't lock him out. He makes too much noise. What were we saying? Oh yeah, and I do that as well, and I yeah, and I said to you, I'm a water snob, and that's I only drink water from my machine, my Enagic.
Oh yes, your
Machine
Kangen
as
machine.
well. So I'm kind of I do all sorts of things. I've got a
Yes.
few things that keep me busy and keep me keep me afloat, which is it's all good. It's good.
So, Deb, can you just quickly tell everybody about your water machine? Just a little
Sure.
quick insight about what that does and how it can help people.
Yeah, well, the water machine, it's it creates molecular hydrogen water, and the machine is my machine's called a K8, and the water is called Kangen water, and Kangen in Japanese is back to source. So basically what happens is your water comes out of your tap, and I filter mine before I put it into my water machine. And then it goes across plates of titanium and platinum, and it gets an electric charge, which then makes the hydrogen in the water much smaller. It separates it so that the water then, when you drink it, you're drinking, like, instead of H2O, it's H16O. Like there's 16 particles or molecules of hydrogen, and so it actually rehydrates your body really quickly, and so you're drinking the water's getting into your system before it actually even gets into your stomach. So it's really hydrating. It's really molecular hydrogen. They've done lots of studies, medical studies, to show how much it improves people's health and well-being, and yeah, it's good. And I just saw Marissa saying about your hydrogen water bottle. That's awesome. I mean, it's all good, but the difference between the machine, having the machine on the counter, is that the water stays it stays restructured for 72 hours, whereas I think your water lasts about 20 minutes in the bottle. So you basically hydrogenate it, then drink it. Otherwise, it's just water. So that's the difference, Marissa. And yeah, as I say, the other thing about my machine is there's different types of water that come out of it. I have acidic water, which is like a antibacterial water, and then when we also have high alkaline water, which sorry, Dusty's behind the camera, if you can see his whiskers coming across every now and then. So yeah, and then there's this other water that's 11 highly alkaline, and that is a degreasing, so it gets all of the chemicals and all of the stuff off your fruit and veggies. That's magic water. That's really magic water. Amazing stuff. And then we have 3 different levels of, like, 8.5 pH, 9 and 9.5 pH water. So yeah, there's I've actually got a booklet that I think we've got 63 uses of all the waters that come from the machine. So, and I mean, it's an investment in your health. It means that you don't have to buy bottled water, which, bottled water is made by manufacturers of the bottles. They don't care about the water. It's just plastic bottles, and I think, the less plastic we can use, the better.
Absolutely. The plastic actually transforms the water, doesn't it? It actually, which we found out, wasn't it? Picking up this water from Deb's house, and it was going all ganky, and we couldn't understand why. And it's because it sat in one of those camping big white tubs, plastic white tubs. And I was like, I just can't drink it. It's just going yuck. And it was taking 2 or 3 days or 4 days to get through a big tub. And that's why. So, we have to get glass ones. So it's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And yeah, I mean, that's something, that's what happens. Plastic leaches into everything that we eat. If it comes in plastic, it's the microparticles leach into it. So yeah. And BPA free plastic, I don't know that's even a thing anymore. So yeah, glass it's much better to drink out of glass.
And it
So,
tastes better, doesn't it? I drink out of a Tupperware plastic container, and I reckon it doesn't taste as fresh as when you drink it out of that glass. It just makes a big difference. Marissa says she's done the Kangen water webinar. It was very cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
no, it's very good. But I mean, it's not, I don't know what, I think it's really cool that this hydrogen bottles are around, because at least you can get an idea. We'll understand what I'm talking about with the benefits of drinking molecular hydrogen water. It's a game changer. I don't drink anything else. If I can't drink Kangen water, I don't drink. I'll go thirsty. And I have to tell you a story. I went away. I did 3 months in my caravan last year, the year before, 2022 now, and I didn't take my machine with me, and I was trying to find places to get Kangen water when I was away, and I couldn't. So I was looking around for alternatives, and that, the plastic bottles that you get from the supermarket, I tried that and couldn't drink it. And then I ended up, I think the only water that I could actually stomach was this stuff called Puro, and that's reverse osmosis water, which isn't good for you either, because you've got chemicals back in. They take everything out, so it creates this dead water. So anyway, but I came back from my trip after 3 months with no Kangen water, and I couldn't believe what my skin looked like. It was so dry. It was ridiculous. I spent the first 2 weeks when I got back, I think I was drinking 5 litres of water a day, and just to rehydrate. And I don't know how I was able to do it. I just was sculling water because I was so dehydrated.
Yeah, so not drinking what you normally used to. Your body would have been going, this is not good. Bring back my Kangen water.
Exactly.
Marissa said, do you have the shower attachment?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. And that, again, goes through, there's they take it back to like a spa. It creates like spa water. So it goes through rocks, ceramic filter, and then it has other things, and it's beautiful. And again, when you have a shower when I have a shower in a shower that doesn't have a filter, I can actually almost smell the chlorine.
I can imagine.
So that's pretty amazing too. I mean, the company Enagic, it's all patented, all of the technology that they use for the water machine and the shower. It's called an Anespa. It's patented technology, and they're the only ones that can actually make the filters and all the things that they use, and they're all made in a factory in Japan, and every machine is made by one person from start to finish. So all of the equipment, all of the pieces of the machine are made by Enagic, and then one person builds every machine. It's pretty cool.
Fantastic. Amazing. Very cool.
And the thing about the company is that they've got a 500-year vision.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty.
Right.
It's pretty cool. So
I just better be wrapping up now. Marissa's just asked one question. I suppose you two can PM each other.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just wanted to see, Deb, before, because I usually love to finish on a reading, and you can share some output on some cards with me if you like. But I just wanted to see if there was anything you didn't share with us about what you do.
Oh, probably lots of things. No. I mean, I do lots of things. But my sound and my water and my and my readings, they're the main things that I do, and just open my heart and love everyone, Bring love.
I know you do. You're an amazing lady. All right. So I have this deck here, which is by Sandra Ann Taylor. It's Energy and Spirit Oracle. I'm going to pull a few cards, two cards. I'm going to do a reading, Deb, and I would like for you to also share some insight of what you get. So everybody, let's just tune into a question that you would like answered at this moment. Just tune in. You may wish to share it in the comment box, what you'd like to know, or otherwise just put it out there. It is through thoughts, speak it out loud, whatever it is that you want to do, and what you need to know. And we'll just put out a couple of cards for it, everybody. All right. Okay. I've asked my question. Have you asked your question in your mind, Deb? Yeah. Shake it out. Let go of the negative energy. Let's pull a card. All right. Here we go. First card. Creation. Soul expression and something new. So I'm getting there's big things coming. I feel like she's watering the plants. Like we talked about water and nutrition for the body, nutrition for yourself, watching yourself grow and flourish and nurturing that. So what it is that you're doing at the moment, it may not be about creation, but it might be about yourself and looking after yourself. Hence what this is about, nurture, natter, and self-care kind of stuff. So I feel like this is to express the soul to be where you need to be. It's about creating something new, but it's also nurturing the self through that process. There's no good running on empty and not looking after the self. Creating that something new is going to burn you out and you're going to lose interest. So Spirit is saying to me, take a step back, nurture the self, nurture everything about you for you to express your soul, but also creating something new in the process. So this is number 37, creation. Now, Deb, I don't know, hopefully you can see that card very well.
Yeah, it's a beautiful card.
Yeah. Anything you would like to add to this card for us today?
Yeah, I mein, what you said actually resonates with me as well, which is beautiful. Thank you. Because I'm basically, I think I said to you, I said earlier, I've become more bold and I'm stepping into my my higher self and not worrying too much, or not worrying about what people think of me, because it really is none of my business. And that's the message that I have for everyone on the call, and for as you go forward. What people think of you has nothing to do with you. And if you're worrying about the opinions of others or the judgments of other people, let go of that and realize that their judgment of you is not about you. It's about their judgment of themselves. So they're trying to deflect that onto you. And so you can take it or you can leave it. And my recommendation is to leave it, just to just say thank you. Thank you very much. That's great that's your opinion. And off you go. So that's the message. That's what I got from that. So if you're worrying about what people are saying, just
saying what they're saying, it's just, if the soul expression is to probably let it go and let it be kind of like a lesson, water off a duck's back. Where can you go with that, for yourself? And Marissa's asked this. Marissa said that she's got a new baby coming into the family, so she just wanted to know if everything was going to be okay. So what were you going to say then, Deb? Sorry.
I'm thinking about the baby now. I don't really do that kind of prediction, but if everything, there's no reason why it wouldn't be okay, except if things are don't even put it out there that anything might not happen. Of course everything's going to be okay. Just love and just send it love already, and welcome it into your family and see it as part of your family now, because it is.
It is. And the fact that she's watering that plant like a baby, she's nurturing that child. And I feel like, Marissa, that's confirmation. It's sunny, it's happy, it's, you know, it's about caring for yourself as well through that process.
Absolutely, yeah.
All
And don't
right.
focus on, you know, what might, you know, focus on the positive stuff, on the good stuff.
This is a funny card.
Oh, a little dancing person.
Yeah, but this one's balance, centered energy, and self-care. So putting the self first, it's like balancing life, work, play, you know, and this is about, I really feel about taking that next step, but really focusing on yourself to get there. How you're going to get there, the self-care along the way. You know, he's sitting on a tightrope balancing, kind of like a circus clown. So, you know, when we look at life, is take that leap of faith or you'll be the fool, you know, the clown, the crazy one. But it's about having balance and working through all that self-care to be able to nurture yourself through that journey to be able to get what you want and where you need to be. So that is a number 24, which ends up to a 6. You know what a 6 is, Deb?
No.
No. Marissa probably does. And she says, absolutely doing that already. Yes, the water has definitely been good. Okay. So, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of balance, and it's about to balance where you're going, co-creating what you're wanting is to balance in life together.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you like?
Yeah, what I'm getting from that is, yes, absolutely balance, and you know, balancing the good and the fun stuff and the work, you know, the income generating stuff. And so it's much easier to create a balance in your life if you schedule and make sure that you you know, work to a schedule and actually do the stuff that doesn't really it's probably not your favorite thing, but it's about, you know, planning your day and making sure that all of the things that you want to get done to create the balance in your life, you allocate time to them.
Yeah. Beautiful. And if you can't allocate that yourself, don't be afraid to reach out for help, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And
see a counselor for goal setting or a coach to goal set to help you funnel and filter through all of the things that you feel stuck with. Those are definitely tools that you can get and reach out for. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And Deb, it's been so good to have you here. Really appreciate that. Now, Deb, if you want to write something on the comments on the Facebook or my Angelicness Facebook page and just sort of say you can find me at here and here, that way they can just directly link into you straight away or direct link into where you send them. So I loved having you today. It's been amazing. So
thank you so much for inviting me. It's been an absolute joy. And I'm trusting that the girls that were here actually enjoyed our chat and maybe learned something or took something from us that that they wouldn't have got otherwise. So, and that's a win as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, thank you, Ness. I love you very much, sweetheart. And
I love you too. Love Dale. Marissa loves us both, and Carla's thankful. So I love doing this with people. So Deb, would love to get you back on again, you know, in a few months down the track.
Absolutely.
Share your meditation to my spiritual guidance with Ness. Share it to my page, and also Spiritual Southwest as well.
Oh yes, okay, thank you. Yeah. Yes, I will. Thank you very, very much.
I've had so much fun working with you today, love. It's been awesome. So any last tips that you would like to throw out there for everybody?
Just be you. Be your best you. And you know, trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be on this amazing journey that's called life. And life is short, so you know. Play full out.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
That's
Ness.
really good. You're welcome, honey. You take care of yourself, and thank you everybody for watching today. If you're watching the replay, let us know. But yeah, love and light to you all, and I'll see you again for another Nurture Natter in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oops. It's not ending.